Hello and welcome to Casual Leaves. So I'm finally here to do the Chatty Repot video. It's basically a reporting video. I have lots of plants here, about 4 or 5 of them we'll see. And I have 75 questions which I want to answer. It's going to be all rapid fire. I had asked on my community tab once if we should do a Chatty Repot and you guys said we should. So here is the video and I have lots of questions. Of course, 75 is a big number, but I wanted to do the whole 75 vogue questions kind of a thing. Very quick answers. We're not going to spend too much time on them. 1 word, max 1 sentence kind of answers to each of these questions. These are planty questions, but there'll be some other questions. Also, personal questions, life questions, a lot of collection related questions, and just my thoughts about the plants. So let's get into it. So before we start, I want to show the plants that I'm definitely going to be reporting. So the first one is my string of hearts. It's been pending for a repot actually since the time I got it. It's a very small plant and it's actually in a net pot inside, which we will see soon. It's grown a lot for sure, but it's been getting dried up too soon, too fast. And I think because it's in a very small pot and more so of the net pot inside. So that's one task we have. All the leaves have started dropping now. So beautiful leaves though. Just love the shape and the colors of the string of hearts. Mine is a variegated version, but the colors are all pinkish, and that's to do with my grow lights. It all depends on what kind of lighting you give to the plant. Maybe at some point when it's well established, and we'll see today how the roots are, maybe we'll keep it in an open environment. Next is this little ignored guy, Melanochrysum. It's been in this water propagation for the longest time. You can see that from the amount of roots it has. And I believe the sign of these round circular roots is that it's looking for more space. So a lot of tiny leaves inside have been coming, like new leaves are growing inside the glass container. So this definitely needs to be potted up. This is a Philodendron Brazil, which I got from a plant friend on YouTube. She sent this to me. It's got most amazing, beautiful leaves, really big sized leaves. And I love the way this plant grows. I love how clustered and close together all the leaves are. And there are 3 cuttings, tons of roots in here. So this needs to now get a home. So that's that. And the 4th one is probably going to be my Joepii. This guy had its journey. It fell so many times when I got it, and it was really fast on growth, but because it fell so many times, it took a little hit. But it's been in this glass cup, sorry, not a glass cup, a plastic cup, and look at the roots. It's got really nice roots, really thick, chunky roots. This should also get a home. The concern with this one is that maybe it's too dried up, and I don't know how I remove the moss from it, but we'll see. So that's that. These 4 are going to be reported for sure. And if we get a chance, I want to report my pap crossed with Raven's Heart Anthurium. This is in a mix like this. It gets dried up way too soon, way too fast. I'm not just comfortable with the soil mix this is in, though I reported it myself in between, but I mixed the soil it came with my soil. Now I would like it to go in my own specific DIY soil, which is here. I have made a full new batch. I have a video of the recipe of this soil mix. It's like the Molly's Aeroid mix, which is very popular. So yeah, that's all that I want to say. There are a lot of cups here, cups as in the pots lying around here for all of these plants which I want to repot. My potting trays here. It's a lot of mess here which you can't see, but let's get into it. Too long also for the questions to start. Let's begin with the questions. Okay, so I've got my questions here on the phone. I did use I did use ChatGPT to help me generate these questions. So there's a good mix. I asked it to actually compare and give me competitive kind of questions, which we see on other houseplant channels, and generally with respect to houseplant, what are the things that people want to discuss and know. So it's a good collection of questions that I have. So the very first question is, what is the most expensive plant in your collection, and is it worth the hype? Yes, of course, all the plants are worth the hype, I would say somewhere. Mine are like, I don't have too expensive, like very, very expensive kind of plants. I just can't make myself spend that much. I just can't. In the end, they are plants, and I really don't want to be spending too much on them. So my Philodendron was an import, so yes, that was a bit expensive. Now you get it much cheaper. Now the cost is much affordable, but when I got it, it was an equigenera plant, and it was expensive, being the very first few imports that were happening that time around us. So yeah. The other one is my Burley Marks Flame, which is a recent addition. Also, I have a video of that. I got it in Jan 2025 as my wish list for the first month of the year. This time I've decided to have like every month gets its own wish list plant. So yeah, these two are definitely expensive for me. Worth the hype also, I wouldn't say no. It totally worth having. They're very satisfying plants basically. So I'm not going to disturb the root ball on this. It all seems fine. Even that net pot, I'm not disturbing it because the roots have found way around to go. So not going to disturb that. I'm just going to pot it up. Second question is, what's the weirdest or funniest plant care mistake you have ever made? Weirdest plant mistake. I don't know, at times initially I would see all these chop and prop kind of videos, and I would think that that will help my plants. I would just go and chop them up. That didn't work for sure ever. So that was like not a mistake, but yeah, it was quite funny. That I thought it will work, it didn't. What's one plant you would never buy again, no matter how popular it is? Succulents. I don't think I would want to buy succulents. I'm okay if I get them as gifts because I just can't keep them alive. That's a fact, and it's true for many of us, I would say. So succulents are something I really don't want to buy. I'm not good with them either. So yeah, that's my answer for that one. If you had to choose only one genus to collect for the rest of your life, what would it be? Definitely alocasias. I am an alocasia lover. I love alocasias really much. They are so versatile. The kind of leaf colors and shapes and the textures and the way they give us combs, like you can make more plants with that. That is just so amazing. I love the fact that you can create multiple plants from a single plant for free. So I really like that bit about alocasias. So definitely that would be the genus I would choose. Next question. Have you ever regretted a rare plant purchase? What was it and why? Have I regretted? Yes, I had bought a couple of anthuriums, like Anthurium clarinervium, a Monstera Thai constellation from a specific seller, and it was quite bad. I got a very juvenile plant. Even my verrucosum, initially when I got it, it was sold to me as verrucosum, but it was fuzzy petiole. It was so juvenile, and I kept asking the seller to help me with it, but they refused, and I had a bad experience. So yes, these rare plants, and it was more of a seller issue that I had, not the plant issue. Plants were, of course, like, they don't have any mistake in this, but yeah. So yeah, that's my answer. My Anthurium clarinervium, my verrucosum, the first one, even the recent one which arrived in a very bad condition. So yes. Do you have any controversial plant opinions or hot takes? Controversial. I would just like to say that like people show all these videos of before and after, like specifically on moss poles, and the leaves grow really huge. I really don't believe that. I don't buy that. Those are really rare cases where the plants become so huge, like unnaturally huge. I really don't know how that happens. I'm sure there's a green thumb behind all of that, but I don't have that green thumb. So the idea of if you have a specific moss pole, your plant is going to be tall and big leaves, no, there's a lot of other hard work and efforts which go into that, which make the plant become that big. Just sorting out the strings because this is like a one-time thing I want to do. If I'm doing this, I better do it now. What is one thing in plant care you struggle with? I think fertilizing and watering the plants is like a whole thing which I'm still learning a lot about. It's quite tricky and I am not that good with it. Still learning on watering and stuff like that. Again, like, you know, watering is a whole thing that we are constantly learning about to avoid overwatering, underwatering and things like those. So still learning that. I'm just wrapping up everything on top here so that eventually it gets bushier, it looks bushier. I have really tiny hearts and really long leggy stems on this. So just gonna circle it around like so and leaving it at that. So that's the first plant, looking perfectly fine to me. So we're done with this one. Really happy actually. Let me find a better angle. Okay, the next question is, what's the one plant you love that everyone else seems to hate? That I love and others hate? I don't know. I think everybody loves all types of plants. I don't think people really hate any plant. So I don't think there's such a plant. What's your most embarrassing plant story? Embarrassing plant story. The most embarrassing plant story. Nothing, just the fact that sometimes I'm not really good with even the most easiest of plants, like my pothos. Like, how could you go wrong with pothos? And I have killed many pothos plants. I tried doing that whole chop and prop thing and somehow they just didn't work for me. The props, they had good roots and this and that and everything, but they didn't work for me ever. Look at the roots on this guy. So yeah. Next is, if you could name a plant after yourself, what kind would it be and why? Of course, alocasias. I love alocasias and they have such beautiful names, like you have Alocasia Maharani, you have Alocasia Black Velvet, Fried Egg, Silver Dragon, Dragon's Breath, whatnot. So definitely, I think even the Purple Prince and stuff like that. So they have the most versatile names. Definitely has to be an alocasia for me. The next one is, have you ever secretly killed a plant and pretended it never existed? Definitely, again, succulents. Recently, we were gifted a succulent. My brother was gifted a succulent and I could not keep it alive. So whether it existed or not, no one knows or no one should know. So yeah, that's one plant. What's the one plant care rule you always break? I think I don't respect the lighting conditions, which are very specific for each and every plant. I just think if I throw a lot of light on the plant, it will do well, which is just so stupid. So I don't really follow that routine properly, the care routine of the lighting conditions of a plant. What plant would you love to grow but can't because of your climate or setup? Well, many. I think philodendrons for sure. I think philodendrons need so much humidity and nice lighting condition, like the east indirect light. They would love to have that, and humid, moist kind of environments, which I don't have. Though I live in a tropical state, in a way, I don't have the conditions for growing philodendrons. So I would really love to grow them, but I can't. Have you ever traded a plant and then regretted it? I haven't been on any trades, like trades where even I sent a plant to someone and someone sent it to me, like as an exchange thing, as a swap thing. I haven't done that. Which plant do you think is currently overhyped? Currently overhyped. Which plant? What plants right now are overhyped? Oh yes, Anthurium hybrids. Oh my god, I just can't get the whole thing going on with all the kind of hybrids and people spending tons and tons and tons of money on it. I am just so sorry. That's just so stupid. I mean, to me, only to me. Controversial thing to say, but I just don't get the hype behind the hybrids. It's just been like suddenly there's like a little boom going on with the sellers, not even with the buyers, I would say. The sellers are just all about it, and that's quite silly for me as a buyer. But as an enthusiast even. Have you ever felt jealous of someone else's plant collection? Not at all, ever. I don't think I'll ever feel jealous. I'll only get inspired from someone else's collection, because it's very inspiring, and it's so nice to ask others where do they get their plants from and stuff like that. So I don't think there's a question of being jealous or anything. I would love to see people's collections. I haven't gotten a chance to see people's collections, so I would love to actually do that. So this one is done. Melanochrysum is done, looking fine to me. What's your go-to excuse when someone asks for a cutting and you don't want to share? That's not happened. Of course, if it's a plant which is very, like, it's going to get affected by taking a cutting, I'll just say that. I'm not going to like deny it or something, but I'll give a reason to say no. But there won't be any excuse, and I think mostly I would just share. I would share a cutting if I can, and if I have it, of course I will. I won't make an excuse. I'll just be honest about it. If it's bad for the plant, I'll say that it's bad for the plant and I can't do that right now, maybe sometime later. Lovely roots on this one. What's the strangest thing you have ever used as a plant pot? What is the strangest thing? Which reminds me of this can. A lot of people use Coke cans, which actually looks very nice. The red ones, the red Coke cans, people put cactuses in them. I've seen them in one of our groups. But yeah, that's the strangest thing. And then take-out containers, which is a very common thing, so it's not like a strange thing actually. If you could design the perfect rare plant, what features would it have? Very interesting question. It's very nice actually. Definitely it should be like an alocasia in terms of the leaf texture, velvety like philodendrons, metallic like begonias, and even the resilience of an anthurium. I think anthurium plants are extremely resilient. They really don't get into those many pest issues as others do, like monsteras or philodendrons do. Oh yes, it can have fenestrations like monsteras. So it's a combination of all the things we all like now. So that would make for a very interesting plant. Which plant do you baby the most in your collection? My alocasias, my alocasia frydek, the new one, the variegated one, and the babies of that plant, I baby them a lot. The 9 corms which are there, and I've just been waiting for them to turn into really nice big plants. So definitely that. Apart from that, my totem, not like baby it in that way. I'm just so attracted to it. I'm just watching over it the whole day. I keep looking out on that. I keep looking at it a lot because it's beautiful. Do you believe certain plants bring good luck or bad energy into your space? No, I don't think so. It may be though the energy with which the plant came with or was gifted or something like that, but not otherwise. I don't think. I think plants they're very neutral in energy in that way. In fact, they're, if anything, only positive. They bring good positive energies only. If you could give one piece, no, what's one plant that you have bought that ended up being nothing like you expected? I don't know. Not, I think initially I used to have a Maranta, and I didn't know it's like a Calathea, and they are very dramatic and they need a very different type of climatic care and stuff like that. So maybe I would say my Maranta, it's no more alive. Same as with my earlier Hoya Hindu rope, my Philodendron Congo Rojo, could not manage, though they're supposed to be very simple plants, but I couldn't manage it. If you could give one piece of advice to a new plant parent, what would it be? Please throw away the plants which are not doing well, which have a lot of pests. Just throw them away. It's not worth it, and you'll realize it with time. Which plant in your collection has the most sentimental value to you? That would be my first Alocasia Black Velvet. I always talk about it every single video. That's the most important plant for me. It's the first one. That reminds me of all the love and passion that I got one fine day for houseplants, rare houseplants, and how it made me feel. That is so important to me. Have you ever been gifted a plant that you didn't actually want? What did you do? I haven't been gifted many plants. Like recently I got, in fact this is like a gift in a way from Plant Mail. I've got a few more plant mails. I love all of those plants a lot. Apart from that, like family members or friends here haven't really gifted me plants. I don't think so. At times they have. I think my dad on one of my birthdays let me go and buy plants, but I mean I bought them by my own choice, so that's different. What's the most ridiculous plant myth you have ever heard and secretly believed? I don't know if I've heard a plant myth or no, so there's nothing. Oh, there's no plant myth I think that I've heard, or maybe it's not at the top of my mind right now. If your plants could talk, what do you think they'd say about you? I think my plants would be really nasty to me, because they'll be like, what the hell are you doing? Because most of the times I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway, learning as I go. So they would kind of make me realize that I do not really have a green thumb, maybe. So this one stuck pretty badly. I don't think it's gonna be easy to get out all the moss from here. Okay, let me get some other questions till I remove this moss. What's the one plant care gadget or tool you can't live without? It would be the grow lights. I don't think my plants will survive at all, because I barely get any natural light in my home. There's no sunlight whatsoever, direct sunlight, natural sunlight. This is light bouncing off of other buildings because it's an apartment. So I think I can't go without grow lights for sure for my collection. Have you ever gone out of your way to rescue a dying plant? Oh yes, so many. I've put them in plastic bags, those lock and lock kind of bags and boxes. I've chopped them up. I've put them in different types of propagation methods like water and moss and perlite and whatnot. My vitrifolium would be that actually. It's still doing terribly. I think I should let go of it now, which is one of the advice which I just said I should give to people. If a plant is not doing well, throw it. I think I should throw my vitrifolium away. What plant in your collection is your absolute pride and joy right now? My Burley Marks Flame, the new one, pushing out 2 new leaves. It's small, but it's good. My Totem, I love my Totem a lot, so that's good. Totally, my fry deck again, these few ones. This big Monstera, the new one I got, definitely, it's like an eye-catching one, really huge in size. What's one thing about your plant care routine you wish you had learned sooner? I think that light thing I spoke of, I have noticed at times when I actually reduce the exposure to light, like I end up blasting my plants with light, but when I do reduce it, it helps them, and just leaving them be, leaving them alone, that helps. Which plant trend are you completely over? I don't know what plant trends as such I ever followed. I didn't. So, no answer there. What's the longest you've waited for a wishlist plant and was it worth it? I'm still waiting for it in a way, but not anymore. I had ordered an Anthurium dorayaki crossed with RC or something like that. I'll put the picture maybe. I waited for months for that plant, but now I'm not getting it. So, yeah, that's the one. What's the one plant care product that totally surprised you? Plant care product. Which reminds me, I should get my root growth powder to sprinkle on the roots. That's the one I wanted to say. Let me go get it. So here is my fast growth root powder. I'm so silly I didn't put it in the other 2 repots, but I will for this one. So yes, that's the plant care product I want to know more about, and I think it does good for me. I've put it in a few plants and they seem to be growing well. I'm gonna put this in the self-watering pot, by the way, so let's get on with that. If you could only water your plants with one drink besides water, what would it be? That's a silly question. I don't know if that would even work. It would kill the plants, but maybe something which helps kill all the pests and stuff like that. So some sort of a solution which can help me do that. I don't know. Would it be like maybe some drink, like some alcoholic drink, something like that? I don't know. What's the most unique propagation method you have tried? So this was the one for my peperomia, my watermelon peperomia. So you're supposed to cut the leaves and put the cutted leaves. I kind of showed this in one of the videos. It didn't work. And you put it in a box so the leaves grow the roots. You chop them up in different ways. It didn't work for me. Have you ever snuck a plant into your home without someone noticing? Not at home, but in the flight. So, I mean, I've spoken about this. I have recently got some plants in flight in my purse. Like I kept 3 plants from a nursery and I kept them in my big tote bag and I got it here. So it was definitely sneaking it on the plane and getting it. What's your most unexpected plant success story? Unexpected. I have no success stories with plants. I've had more failure stories than success stories. What's one plant you wish you had started collecting earlier? I think pothos and cebu blue, like plants which need fenestrations. So cebu blue is also like a pothos type, epipremnum. So if I would have got it earlier, it would start giving me fenestrated leaves. So any plant which needs fenestrations, I wish I would have got it earlier. My Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, amedrium. So yeah, all the trailing, vining kind of plants, I wish I would have got them sooner because they would have done well by now. They would have grown a lot by now. What's the most dramatic thing a plant in your collection has done? I think when it pushed out back-to-back flowers, blooms in my alocasia black velvet, it was like one bloom after the other. That was crazy. I think we all have faced it and no one knows what to do with it. Some personal questions now, and we're done with 3 plants, right? So this is my Brazil looking good. I think it's looking nice. So this is here, the second and third. I'm just gonna move on to the UPI now. What's one childhood memory that shaped who you are today? So I barely remember any of my childhood memories. I have like very few memories from my childhood, so I really don't think I have an answer to that one. I'm what I am today with the thoughts I create today. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? This is a good question. I would live in one of the South American countries where my tropical plants would be the best in shape and size and health. I would name the places, but I don't know the names. But you know what I mean, from where all these plants were discovered, the jungles of the South American continent. Yeah. What's a hobby you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? Hobby that I wanted to try. Dancing. I love to dance. I've done a form of it in like fitness, like Bollywood fitness dancing kind of a thing, and I think I'm very good at it. So I would love to explore that as a proper hobby. I do a good moonwalk, and I love those kind of Michael Jackson moves and stuff like that. I totally would want to learn that as a hobby. What's your proudest accomplishment outside plants? So that would be my fitness journey. And I say fitness journey, not a weight loss journey or a fat loss journey or stuff like that. But I was, and not that I was unhealthy or unfit ever, but in the last 15-16 months, I have lost 14 kgs, and a lot of it was fat loss. It's not the weight which matters, and a lot of inches, about 4 to 5 inches on my waist. And I've built a lot of strength, a lot of muscle. I've toned up. I look way better and different than I used to before, and I feel way better and different than I used to from before. So that's my big accomplishment, and just an overall lifestyle change. So very happy about that. If you could relive one day of your life, which one would it be and why? There's nothing like that. I'm fine with the way every single day goes by, as long as something apart from routine happens, or even if routine stuff happens is fine, but I don't have really some crazy unreal expectation the way they feed us from the world of internet or movies and stuff like that. No. Gonna keep this here to remove it. If you could, okay, how do you unwind after a long day? So that would be just standing in front of my plants and watching them, nothing else, just silently standing there and watching them, having a cup of tea. That's all. Who has been the most influential person in your life and why? Definitely my parents, my partner. Definitely everything that I am is because of them, and I emulate them a lot in everything that I do. What's the best trip or vacation you've ever been on? So I've been to Maldives, and that was very nice. I've been to Ladakh, that was even nice. That was equally nice, or a different type of nice, because beach versus mountains. So love Ladakh. I have to still make my vlog for last year when I went, last April when I went, and I promised I would make a vlog of my second trip, which I haven't yet. So maybe I can do that soon. If you could master any skill instantly, what would it be? I think filmmaking and camera equipment, using the equipment. So this is fine. This type of shooting is a different thing, but if I would love to make short films or storytelling kind of films, like proper films, not like videos, but yeah, cinematic films and storytelling. What's a book, movie, or song that has had a profound impact on you? Definitely Jiddu Krishnamurti books and Anthony DeMello books, and a lot of movies also. Fight Club, Soul. I think it's called Soul, the one with the musician thing in it. A lot of those kind of movies which make you wanna Inside Out as well in a way. So movies that kind of feel good movies to make you get up from your seat and stop wallowing around and feeling depressed. What's your biggest goal for the next year and how are you planning to achieve it? That's definitely a YouTube growth goal. I want to get my channel monetized from the second slab. I am now in the YouTube partner program with the first slab done, which means the membership, supers and thanks have opened up, but I want each and every video view to get monetized, which will happen after I touch 4,000 watch hours. So I'm 1,000 hours away from that, and that's the goal. So more subscribers and more watch hours, that's the goal. I'm just gonna save some of this moss because it looks good. I don't want it to get mixed with the soil in my tray, so I'm just gonna save a bit of that here. Moss has been like so scarce. I'm having such a hard time to source some moss. Do you believe in luck or hard work as the key to success? Hard work, definitely. Just believe in hard work. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do, and success will follow, is what I believe. Luck is a matter of chance. It's in its definition, so it's not always gonna be reflective of what you know or your skill set or your knowledge base or your hard work to that effect, right? So it's all about hard work that you do, and luck of course has a factor and a role to play, but without hard work, even good luck will not get you really far ahead, I feel. What's your favorite way to spend the weekend? We know it. Plant chores, plant care, watching over plants, buying new plants, reading a bit, music, playing the guitar a bit. If you could time travel, would you go to the past or the future, and why? I don't think I want to travel in time. I'm happy where I am in the present moment. I've spent way too much of my philosophical mind to understand and believe that the present moment is where we should be, so I'm not traveling to any other moment in time. What's one thing people often misunderstand about you? So I'm not at all a talkative person, and I can be intimidating many times in person. I do believe that. At times people are scared of me, at times people think I'm a snob. None of it is true. I'm just a normal human being, a normal person, and I wish I didn't come across as intimidating in person in my workplaces or even on my other interactions. It's maybe just a way I keep myself safe by being a very strong personality at times in person. Do you prefer big celebrations or quiet moments with loved ones? Quiet celebrations for sure. Nothing I don't like. I mean, we have that idea of doing big things and big planned days for milestone kind of moments, but I don't think in real life they can always happen for everyone. If they do, very good. If not, simple, quiet moment of celebrations are fine for me. What's one life lesson you wish you had learned earlier? I think what I just said about being in the present moment, that takes a lot of practice to believe and follow. I'm just gonna put this guy in. Adding my root powder. I wish I added the root powder in the other ones, which I didn't. Forgot. How do you balance work, hobbies, and personal life? It's tough for sure, and YouTubing makes it tough too because it's like a lot of added hours of work, which of course are fun and everything, but I really have to plan things around with it at times. If I have to follow the rules of the YouTube world, then I must be consistent, I must post often, and it gets really difficult. So of course there are priorities, so family gets the first priority no matter what, and then work, and then my personal things. What's your dream for your future self in 5 or 10 years? I don't know. I really have to think. I don't think I can answer this question in short, so I don't think I can Right now with doing this, my mind is split. It's a question which requires my mind to focus a lot more, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Then I have some rapid fire kind of questions. What's your favorite plant in your collection right now? Birdie Marks Flame. Coffee or tea? Definitely tea, we all know that. I love tea. Monsteras or Philodendron? I want to say both, but I'll say heaps. I want to say both. Okay, it's rapid fire, so I'm just going to say it. Monsteras, you have to take less care of them. So, morning person or night owl? Night owl, definitely. Favorite season for plant growth? Anytime they push out growth, but I think it's just a little bit before summer and a bit after the rainy season when the temperature at my place is good, so climatic conditions are good for plant growth. So that time. What's your dream vacation spot? Beaches and mountains. Soil mix or semi-hydro? Semi-hydro for sure. Pond works the best. What's your go-to comfort food? Home food. I love home food. I love basic Indian home food meals. Rare plants or easy to grow plants? Rare plants for sure. What's one movie you have watched more than 5 times? Armor of God Part 2. Watched it like 50 times. More than 50 times. Do you prefer a jungle look? Do you prefer a jungle look or a minimalist plant setup? Jungle look for sure. What's your plant place to shop for plants? What's your favorite place to shop for plants? I wish I had. That's such a huge problem right now. I would love to buy plants, but I really don't know from where to get them. I'm having like a bad experience from everywhere. Would you rather rescue a dying plant or buy a wish list plant? Wish list plant for sure. All plants at some point will die, so rather get a new one from your wish list. What's the last book or show you enjoyed? I've been watching Shrinking on Apple TV. It was good. I've been re-watching for the nth time How I Met Your Mother, which was good. I've been reading this book called Freedom from the Known. So I'm really right now affected by that in a good way. So that's the book changing me as I speak. Last question. If you could only keep 3 plants, which ones would they be? My Alocasia Black Velvet, the first one. My Anthurium crystallinum, the one here for sure, and the third one, my Philodendron Totem. It's given me the most amount of joy. It's given me the most amount of new leaves and such beautiful colors from the time the leaf starts pushing itself out to when it unfurls and then finally matures. The shades of hot pink are amazing on it. So those 3 plants. Well, I have potted this guy up as well. So actually this was fine. We could do 4 plants and 75 questions. I think I did take more time than I intended to. Definitely took a lot more time answering the questions. Okay, so just want to show all the plants we potted up today. The first one was my String of Hearts variegated. It's got a single plant in this. A lot of vines now, looking fine for me. Does the job of having this guy in my collection. My Melanochrysum, cutting from the longest time that I had in water. My Philodendron Brazil, which I got in the plant mail some time back, looking good. And my Philodendron Joepii. I actually love this plant a lot. I love the leaves, I love the texture, everything, the shape. I wish it did really well. And I love this whole very shaky kind of leaves which it has. I love it. So I'm going to go to the kitchen, water these up, put them back in their spot. And I hope you watched this video. I did put a lot of effort in planning and prepping for this video, but I just could not get myself to shoot it because it's a whole big task also, and I was somewhere not able to. I've been trying from 5 days now to shoot this, but I hope that this went fine and you watched it till the end. And if you did, please do like the video, please do hit the notification bell, and please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps me grow a lot, even as a person, not just the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.